everybody. It is your girl, Amy Warrior Princess, and my girl, Shari from Voices from the Swamp. Woohoo! We're here to talk about
Time
some
to do
mystery.
some time to
Yeah.
do some sleuthing.
Woohoo! Hey, Tamsy. Good to see you, Tamsy Faye. How you doing, girl? Thanks for coming. Yeah. We're excited to do this because we want to bring these girls some justice.
Yes,
All
very
right.
much so. All right.
All right, because it has been some what 40 years, I think, for these girls. So we need to bring some justice for these ladies. Um. Oh, and
Absolutely.
thank you to my new subscribers that have joined. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome to the family. Hey,
Hey,
Book
Book,
Bewitched. Hey, Book. Hey, hey.
one of these
Welcome.
days I'm gonna remember what your actual name is. For whatever reason, I go blank every time.
Me too. Sorry.
And I know you've told me a dozen times, and I still go blank every time. I don't know. I'm so bad with names, y'all. Y'all just have to forgive me.
Me too. I'm so sorry.
I'm just really bad at it.
Oh, me too.
Everybody at work has gotten used to the fact that I call everyone darling, sugar, honey, boo, sweetheart. I mean,
Love.
yeah, when I first started working there, everybody would be like, you're not supposed to say that to people. I'm like, yeah, I call everybody that. Don't worry about it.
That's just me. Just deal
And
with
then I
me.
don't remember names or half of my faculty's names and stuff. I can't pronounce them anyway. So, oh, okay, you just go by book. Cool.
Oh, Book. Okay. Hey, Book. All
So
right.
then I actually remembered it.
Me too. All right. Sherry and I have decided to start back up our mystery um saying that we decided to do a few months back, but then life got in the way. But
And
we're starting it back
COVID
up
and this and that. And
and that and other things. So it's going to be once a month. We're going to be doing this. Are you all right? Oh,
I'm
she's
burning up
hot.
again. It's 1 minute I'm cold, next minute I'm hot. So
Yeah, I hear you. Um, we're going to be doing this once a month. We could be doing sleuthing like today. We could be doing paranormal. We could be doing whatever. We don't know. Whatever spirit wants us to do.
that's it.
Um, trying to get myself. Uh, I don't know. Am I straight or am I crooked? I don't know.
Well, you tend to
Um,
cock your head, so it doesn't really matter. You tend to do this. So, if you straighten your camera out, everything behind you looks crooked, but your head's up straight. So, I would just not worry about it.
there we
Hey,
go. I'm
Clarence.
straight. My camera's crooked, but I'm straight. Um, hey Clarence, how you doing, Clarence? All right. To inaugurate our new show, what we are doing. Hey Louise, good to see you here, girl.
Hi, Louise.
Um, thank you everybody to the show. Hello, hello. What we are doing today is a missing, well, not missing, two lovely ladies who were unalived back in 19 March of, well, one was March of 1979, and then a year later in March or April of 1980, two young ladies, um, Carol Lannon was
I was
found.
actually just a couple of months younger than Carol when she was unalived. Um, I graduated high school in 1979.
And I was what, seven? I was seven. Um, they were found in what was it? Thurwood Woods in England. She was 18 years old. She had a 3-month-old baby. She was found it was snowy. Okay. So she was found nude. She was strangled, or I don't know if I was she was um
Wait a minute. Let me double check my notes here. Um,
not she was
she showed signs, evidence of violence, and
she
was
was
strangled by ligature. So it
yeah,
was something used to strangle her.
yeah. I didn't know if we could say that word. um um so and then a year later they found Elizabeth McCabe. She was a nursery nurse, a little older than Carol. She lived with her parents. Um,
And
she
she did
was
not show evidence of
no, she
violence.
did not. She did
And
not.
she was done by hand. Whoever
Right.
strangled her with hands.
And she was also found nude in the same park and in the same woods, and it was in the same area. She was just found a few well, feet, what we say feet, but they said yards, um, from where Carol was found. And it used to be back in 79, it used to be like a rest area. It isn't anymore, but it was a rest area. So peop people could see this area because you could see where the cars were coming past. Because Sherry and I both watched this, so you could see where the cars were coming past. No, they were not, Book. They were not. Thank goodness. Um,
Or at least as
they
far as the articles and stuff were, they didn't say.
or the show or the
Yeah,
show.
they didn't.
Um,
They didn't go down that road.
no, they did not. Um, but I'm sure if they were, they would have said, because the show that I saw this on, they were very thorough in telling the evidence. So, um, it it was um very, very like, oh my gosh, for that time. Um, do we want to wait and tell them how they were taken, or do we want to do
Well, I think let's
or
put the information out there, and then
and then start
that would
doing?
help chat kind of know what questions they might want us to read on concerning it. Now, Carol, the first girl that died, um, unalived, she was 18. She was a
18.
single mom.
Mm-hmm.
She had
Yep,
a
had a
3 month
3 month
old
old.
son, and then the other lady did not have children, and she still lived at home, like Amy said. Um, the police naturally assumed that the teenage mother, the first one killed, uh, they believed that she was actually
A
selling personal services, shall we say, on the
mhm,
street corner. Um, but according to some of the interviews I saw with family and friends, they were like, that was just so not her at all. They
yeah.
just, yeah, they rejected that thought out of hand. But sometimes, hi, Magic.
Hey,
Sometimes,
oops. Hey, Magic.
sometimes if you, sometimes police, how to put this and not be rude about it.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll get fixated on a certain point or avenue and they will overlook other obvious clues because they're honed in on just one thing, you know.
Mhm.
So there may have been clues for the first young lady that they overlooked because they just assumed that she was walking the street corner that night and offering services to be rendered, so to speak. So, and
Mhm.
according to friends, from the notes I wrote on it, she was just, she was a normal young woman. She went out, she partied with her friends, and then she was leaving to go home, or somebody was supposed to give her a ride home or something.
Look
And
what look what Magic said.
yeah, I mean, a man can go out and get tipsy and then go home with friends or catch a ride with a stranger or walk it off or whatever. And nobody thinks twice about it, but you let a
Mhm.
single woman do that. And suddenly there are
She's
certain connotations that get associated with her that may have nothing to do with her personality at all. I mean,
Yep.
Carol, the first young lady, she was 18 years old. I mean, at 18, granted, I didn't have a child, thank God, but the last thing on my mind was worrying about somebody's going to snatch me up and hurt me. I was concentrating on having fun, getting prepared to go to college, and hanging with
Mhm.
my friends. And
And keep in
walking
mind, in
down the
England,
job.
you're old enough. Well, true, but in
Yeah.
England, you're old enough to drink when you're 16.
Well, when I was
So
18, you were old enough to drink when you were 18. It wasn't
right back
until
then.
about 5 years later that they changed the drinking age back up to 21.
Right.
But
But oh, and I was gonna say, what happened was, okay, with both of these ladies, with Carol and Elizabeth, both decided to go out drinking with friends. Okay. Both went out drinking with friends. No big deal. Right. And they both went to the same pub. All right. So um I think, how did they both went to the same pub, and they both got into a car and accepted a ride. And that's when they were last seen by people.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. Back in 1979, 1980, people would take rides from strangers all the
Mhm.
time, and it was such a rare instance of getting harmed if you did that,
Right.
that nobody thought of that. It was just, oh yeah, hey, this guy's going to give me a ride home. I'm good, and off you went. You didn't think twice about it. Whereas a good 10 years later, you wouldn't even consider that for fear of what could happen. Um,
True.
so, uh,
But not saying that there isn't one in there once in a great while that would, like, oh, whoops.
oh, we used to thumb a ride all the time when I was a teenager. If especially if we were out and about in our ride that we rode with left or took off with somebody else, and you'd be kind of stranded. And unless you ran into a friend, we'd go out and hit the sidewalk, stick our thumb out, and grab a ride.
Mhm.
Didn't think anything about it. Um, it just was. We didn't worry about it like they do today, or like they did just 10 years later in the '90s. Um, a lot of cultural changes, and then of course in England, their cultural way of doing things is quite different than here in the States. I mean,
Mhm.
you could go to the pub and drink legally at the age of 16. You could go and hang out in places. Most pubs, especially in Ireland, but most pubs are considered a family establishment. You got kids 3, 4, 5 years old that are running around the
Mhm.
pub while mom and dad throw back a cold one,
Yep.
Um,
That's
and
the
it's
way it was
probably
at the
yeah,
VFW when I was a kid. My dad
yeah,
would bring us, the whole entire family, to the VFW in the 70s.
yeah,
It was a family thing, and now you can't do that.
right, yeah, exactly. Right, magical. Even if they tried to touch you, you still got home alive. I mean, you just didn't. You might would be concerned if things got a little iffy in the car that you were going to get sexually molested, let's say. But
SA or SM'd.
yeah, there we go. That's a good one. SM. Um, but you didn't expect to be unalived, you know.
Mhm.
Um, that unless, of course, in the States you were Native American. And we've had that issue for generations of
Mhm.
Native American women up and disappearing.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what
Mhm.
happened to them, where, they just up and disappear, you know.
Yeah.
So,
So what okay, Carol's telling me to talk about who picked her up.
mhm.
So let's ask who picked Carol up.
Okay, let's go with did she know the person that picked her up and gave her a ride? Did she
Okay.
personally know this person? Let's start there.
Okay. No.
Mm.
Guests go first.
All right. Let's see.
So that people can see our cards.
Yeah.
I made you bigger.
Just what everybody wants. You see my big pores. Um,
Oh, please. Mine are
all
huge
right. Well,
too,
I
girl.
started out with the Six of Swords. So I think in her mind, this was someone who arrived just in the nick of time. She needed a ride. Oh, hey, there's X. I know him. I can grab a ride home with him. No big deal. And then from there, it went to, uh, see, I don't do tarot enough that I don't remember the damn cards. Um, she, in that present moment, she was the high priestess. And
Mhm.
she didn't pick up any vibes off of this gentleman that was dangerous.
Mhm.
Um, she felt safe getting into his car and accepting a ride. So again, that hints at she probably knew this person. Maybe not intimately, maybe not on a friendship level, but she might have just known him on an acquaintance level. Somebody she saw in the pub, someone she saw around town. Um, he was the person that they think was responsible. He was actually a social worker. So she very well could have been aware of who he was simply because she would have been seeking services from local government, being an unwed mother, with a small baby.
Mhm.
Um, and then I ended up with the Eight of Swords, which again it shows her bound and blindfolded. Yeah, so you're looking at her bound and blindfolded. Now, they didn't find any. I don't remember reading that they found any evidence that she was bound, like she had been held against her will.
No, she
So
wasn't.
whatever
Mhm.
happened initially probably happened in the car,
Mhm.
probably fast. Who's to say maybe the guy made a pass at her and she told him no and it pissed him off and he reacted. That's trying to give the benefit of the doubt for the reason why. But seeing this final card, the Eight of Swords, where she's bound and blindfolded, this is telling me that she was completely caught off guard by what happened. That she felt safe getting in the car with this person. Great, gonna give me a ride home. I gotta go deal with my kid. Gotta go to work tomorrow, whatever.
Mhm.
She did not pick up on this.
Mm-mm.
And I think that when it initially went down, it what I'm getting from her is it was a complete and total shock to the system because it was so unexpected. And
Yeah.
a lot of times when something like that happens to a person, their instinct is not to fight, but their instinct is to freeze up. They, they literally freeze up because they don't know what to do.
Yep.
Like, oh my God, what is going on here? What am I supposed to do? And before you have time to reason it out and say, I need to open the car door and get the hell out, it's too late. You know, so I
Yeah.
just, what I'm getting off of her was just that it came out of the blue. She was not expecting to be attacked the way she was attacked.
Yeah. It's true.
That's what she's telling me. That it just, boom, it just happened. And she was like, oh my God, what is going on? She's 18 years old. At that age, you tend to think you're going to live forever. You tend to
Mhm.
think that no matter what happens, everything's going to go your way. And yeah, she discovered real fast that she was completely taken off guard.
Yeah.
That's what keeps telling me I didn't see it coming. She didn't see
And book has a good observation. If Elizabeth could have known Andrew.
right. Well, and that's what those that have gone back into the case are surmising now, that both women knew this man, because if the
Mhm.
person they think is responsible was responsible, he was a
Yeah.
social worker. He was
True.
well known in the community. He was well known by those, he was one of the regulars, went and hung out at the pub. Everybody else. He was
Yeah.
probably one of the first ones to help volunteer to look for this
Hey,
girl
Sandra.
or to
Hey,
look for
Sandra.
clues. Hi,
Yeah.
Sandra. So, because a lot of times the person that is responsible will be one of the first ones to
You
lift up their
interject.
hand and say, let's go look for clues.
Yep.
One, because they want to make damn sure that they didn't leave any information behind. And
Or
so when you're
evidence.
making or
Yeah.
evidence, right? So they're gonna, they're gonna hone in on where they know it occurred, but in a random kind of way. And this is what I've read
Mhm.
from psych books when I was in college, because I studied abnormal psych and the kind of people that would do stuff like this. It's really wild when you get into reading on people like that.
That's
Um,
true. But
yeah, freeze, fight, or flight. And I think you're right. It's she froze.
yeah, she did.
Uh,
She froze.
yep.
But oh,
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
the cards that I got, the first one I drew was the judgment card because she knew even though she froze, I think she knew that it was that, and she knows now that it was her time. I'm covering it up because nudity, but it was her time. It was, she had a contract and it was her choice for the contract and it was her choice, her time to go, you know, you know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
that was her life's purpose, if that makes any sense.
No,
Um,
that makes perfect sense.
um, and she's still trying to, even though it's 40 years later, she's still trying to find justice. Um, if not for her, for her child, for her family.
Yeah.
She wants, because her child is, I just heard her child is still alive.
Well, yeah, he would be. He'd be in
Well,
his mid 40s.
I was thinking, well, something could have happened to him, and but I just heard he's still alive.
Yeah.
So she wants justice done for him,
Yep.
so that he knows what happened to his mama. The second card I got was the Page of Swords. Um, she was like, I need a ride home. Oh, here comes this car. Oh, okay. Who is this? Who is this? Oh, cool. I have a ride home.
Yeah. Oh, I know him.
Hey,
I see him at the clinic when I go in for whatever.
yeah.
He's safe.
Um, these
That's
are
what I'm
all
getting.
so yeah. And another yes card. Yes, she knew him. Clarity
Yeah.
of who he was. Yes, I
Yeah.
know him. Yes. Um, another yes card. Routine. I'll go with him because I know. Feel
Hmm.
safe. No problems. And another yes card. Secure. I feel safe with him. Security. I'll get home.
Yep.
No problems.
Exactly.
King of Pentacles. Feel safe. Security. This guy will protect me to get me home.
Yep.
So and she had no idea that this person would do anything to her. So it was
Yeah.
just out of the blue because
Yeah.
his
That's the
his
biggest thing getting off of her was I didn't see it coming.
yeah, yeah, exactly, because his switch got flipped just because of something stupid,
Yep.
that he thought was stupid.
Yep.
And so
You keep talking. I'm gonna be right back. I got it. My washer just beeped. I gotta go put fabric softener in.
okay. Oh,
Or
laundry
all
day.
my clothes are gonna be full of static electricity.
Oh, lovely. Okay, you go do you, boo. But, it's just unbelievable how easily things can just, excuse me, how unbelievably fast things can switch. Um, oh, hey, Kiba, how you doing, girl? Haven't seen you in forever. Oh, jeez, magic. Really? What was that for? Oh, wow. And also, I wanted to remind everybody, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You gotta like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to leave a comment down below. Helps with our helps with our algorithms so that we get out there to people. So I'm still laughing at what you said, Magic. I am so sorry. Um, wow. The little things that get me laughing, I swear. Well, happy birthday to Keepa's mom. Happy birthday to you. 70. Woohoo. 70 is a big number. Um, there there wasn't a um tell her that Amy Warrior Princess and her chat wish her the very best of birthdays. Happy birthday. Um, they didn't give an explanation, but I would think it was so that any evidence wouldn't be there because there more than likely would be a lot of evidence on her clothes, on their clothes. So, um, you're welcome, Kipa. Um, yeah, more than likely the clothes were taken because they didn't this person didn't want evidence to be found. So, um, yeah. But I can't. I just heard Carol go. I'm not going to say the exact words, but she goes. He was a smart butt. But yeah. Yeah, Carol. Yeah, he was.
Okay, my bad. It
Keep his mom's
actually had
Carol's mom's
finished. I had to
birthday. Oh,
put him in the dryer.
Carol's mom's 70th birthday is tomorrow, so
Happy birthday!
we're all wishing her a happy birthday. I told her to tell her that Amy
I'd
Warrior
sing,
Princess in her chat
but
say.
it's supposed to be something you celebrate, not something that makes you cringe.
I already sang. So, yeah, we're all wishing her a happy birthday. So, um, so yeah. Um, and while you were away, Carol went, yeah, he was a smart butt. She said something
Yep.
else, but
Yeah, very much
he was,
so. Um,
but I'm not
he had that kind
because,
of attitude of I know
because,
best.
yeah,
Don't argue with
because,
me. I know best.
yeah, because Book Bewitch asked if there was a reason for her being nude, and I would think it was because he took the clothes because he didn't want he the DNA and evidence on the
Well,
clothes.
it's a dual statement. One is, yeah, he wants to make sure there's no evidence that could be on the clothes. But number two, it's also another step of humiliation to the victim.
Mm.
How best to humiliate this young woman than to leave her stripped and in the forest.
Yeah.
It's like you're taking away that last little shred of
Dignity.
decency, yeah, and dignity on her. And
Yeah.
but that's
Um,
just me and pulling from years of taking psychology classes when I was in college.
yeah, me too. Yeah.
They didn't I didn't see that in any of the stuff that I read or watched on it.
Yeah, they
That they
didn't
went
give a
they
reason
didn't
for
take
it,
that
but
step. They didn't take that step of
no.
why they took the step of he was trying to get rid of evidence or
Yeah.
making
Mhm.
sure that there was no evidence. But um, now maybe they thought it and they just didn't put it in the reports or in the interviews. That they didn't see it as being another form of humiliation. Um,
Yay. Yeah.
Absolutely, book. I mean, we really do have a great community. I mean, are there a few outliers that are just a-holes? Yes.
Yeah.
And you just learn to kind of get around them. Either you don't collab with them or you don't, you don't watch them.
Mhm.
Are there a few that I've run into? Yes. And I don't collab with them and I don't watch them. Um,
Yeah.
will I say who they are? No, because that's something between me and that person. It's got nothing to do with anybody else. It could have just been something that didn't click between me and the person,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, overall, we have a really loving, supporting community that is there for all of us when we need it, whether if it's because we need $5 sent to our channel to help support us, or whether it's we have uh, need for additional prayers, or whatever the case may be.
Um, no book bewitched. DNA was not understood as much then because they did not have the technology.
Mm-mm. They basically knew about DNA, and depending on how clean the how
Well, it was preserved.
well, not just preserved, but was it certain DNA evidence is going to break down depending on the atmosphere around it. Did it rain? Was it windy? Were there wild animals that were drawn to
The body.
the body in the woods?
Mhm.
That's going to mess up a lot of stuff. So depending on how pristine the samples are, let's say,
Mhm.
back then determined whether if they could even do a DNA. Not
Because
like today,
remember,
where today you could take a sip out of a glass of water and boom, they got you.
yeah, because
They can
remember
pull it.
back then, Carol was found in 79 and Elizabeth was found in 80.
Yeah,
Um,
it was. They were.
DNA was basically in its infancy in the 90s.
Yeah,
So,
I was trying to see if they had how many months apart they were. It wasn't quite a year.
it was basically a year.
Yeah, it was like
Basically.
right around between 9 and 12 months. So right in that
Yeah.
area.
Um, who did get the tip that Andrew was
Let's see if I wrote that down.
I think
I know the guy that they accused, that they arrested and charged.
I
There wound
oh
up being evidence that it was not possible for him to have done it.
no, because
Um,
I don't think he was he was even around. I
Yeah,
don't think.
for one of them, he wasn't even in town that day. But he
Mm-mm.
did admit to he would go hang out in the woods because he would go spy. Evidently, it was a place where teenagers would go to, canoodle in the back seat. Um, and he would go
Well, yeah, that
watch.
was the thing back then. You didn't have
It,
much to do.
Nowadays, everybody looks at their phone; they're not interested. But
Mm,
I mean, back then, you went out to the woods or wherever you had in your town, and that's where everybody went to go play footsie in the back seat with each other.
yeah,
Um, and he admitted that he liked to go sneak into the woods and go watch them. So he was a watcher,
yeah.
kind of just a pervert, basically. Um, because that's kind of pervy when you think about it. It's like how desperate do you have to be that you have to go watch teenagers make out in the woods? Um,
Oh, me too. Book Bewitched. See,
yeah, I mean, we all have, like I said, that there, do buttholes come in every now and again? Yeah, and you just deal with them
yeah,
or
that's
ignore them.
partly why I left.
So sometimes you and other readers, you know, just don't mesh together.
Nope.
Okay, it's nothing against the other person. It's just
No,
our
no,
personalities don't mesh. So
nope.
we just don't hang out. Hey Jeff,
Hey,
and
Jeff. How you doing, Jeff? Woohoo! Oh, hey, Jeff, did you get the little tag I had you in for Andre so that you can get a reading with him if you want? I tagged you in it. But okay. Um Carol's talking to me. Hang on. She's going. All right, girl. What are you girl? Hmm. Don't you just love it when they talk 1,000 miles an hour and you can't that's why I'm like, girl.
like, slow down, please. I'm still human.
Yeah. Um
No, it wasn't the social worker that was the perp. The social worker is the one that they thought was responsible.
the second guy.
It was the guy that they arrested and charged.
The first guy was the one that they arrested and charged.
Hmm.
The second guy
Um,
was the one that they had their eye on because
yeah.
he fit more closely. And
They arrested and charged a guy named Vincent, and
she's
he
talking
admitted to
about
hanging.
Andrew.
Andrew's the one that
Andrew.
killed her. Andrew's
Andrew.
the one that
Andrew.
committed.
Is Andrew the one that unalived you?
Hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. She's screaming, yes, yes.
Yeah. And the two gentlemen both had very similar looking vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
So eyewitnesses were giving, a vague description of the vehicles that they saw the young ladies get into. And the one that was arrested and charged, that was Vincent. He was the one that admitted to hanging out in the woods to watch the teenagers make out. The one that they believed was the actual perpetrator was the social worker. So
But
that
they
would have
couldn't.
given him access to their information and to know a little bit more about their background to be able to deal with them on a little bit different level, to say, sort of say. Um,
The thing is, the evidence goes toward Andrew, but he was never charged.
right. They never hauled him in or anything.
No.
It wasn't until another group of detectives went in and started going back through the evidence that this other name came up. And that was because he was, I don't think they ever found him guilty because I don't think they had the evidence, but he was believed to have been the one responsible for unaliving his second wife, and it brought into question the suicide of the first wife,
Andrew Hunt, his name was Andrew
Hunter.
Hunter. That
Andrew
was the
Hunter.
social worker.
Right. Right. Okay. So Andrew Hunter was the social worker. He was the one who, when the case was looked at again at a later date, he was the one that appeared to know both women. He had a car that was very similar in appearance and color as Vincent, the guy that actually got arrested and charged and then
Mhm,
released because there was no evidence against him. The evidence for him was he had a car that looked like the car that they got into. And he hung out in the woods because he
mhm,
liked to spy on teenagers making out. That was Vincent.
mhm,
Was not the one responsible for
mm-mm.
unaliving these two women. Andrew, the social worker, is the one that they believe unalived. Not just these two women,
But
but
other women.
3 additional women on top of it, all within a 26-month time period.
If you're interested,
So that's like in a 2.5 year time period. You
yeah,
know, a
yeah.
little over 2 years.
If you're interested, the same show that I watched on BritBox is on YouTube. The show is called uh The Footsteps of a Killer. In the
Hmm.
Footsteps of a Killer
Yeah.
is the name of the show. And um it'll have the pictures of uh
The two
um
women.
the two women on it
Yeah.
in the thumbnail. The same pictures of the two women on my thumbnail will be in the thumbnail of that. So you can watch that and get all this info.
Yeah. The social worker was never found to be a viable perp because he was never considered. It wasn't
Hey,
until
Sylvia.
the case came back. It wasn't until the case came back into the view of a different set of investigators who started going through the information and were like, oh, wait a minute. They arrested and charged the wrong guy.
I don't know if Andrew is still alive,
I don't think he is.
but even if he isn't, it would still be nice to actually name the person and put a
Hmm.
name to the person. because the family deserves to know.
Right. Right. The perv isn't necessarily the perp. You got it.
The perv isn't the perp.
Now,
He was
there is
just
one forensic criminologist who was convinced that the cases were not linked. But the second set of investigators and investigative journalists who went to them and said, I'm looking at this old case, what can you tell me? And it's when they started going through the interviews, the information, the evidence, that the new set of investigators were like, oh, wait a minute. They should have been checking this guy. And he never got considered. So for whatever reason,
Mhm.
he was able to hide the fact that he was even in the area at that time. But both gentlemen had similar cars. They both had similar looks,
Mhm.
so that when eyewitnesses who saw the young ladies getting into the vehicle were able to give a generic description of a car and a guy in the car and what they look like, and it could have been either person. Um,
Yeah.
now,
Um,
as far as their belongings, like they were both stripped, left naked, um, unclothed, I guess you could say. Carol, the 18-year-old unwed mother, her belongings were found over 75 miles away. Whereas the other young lady, her stuff was found discarded in the town center. Like
uh,
somebody just threw it in the center of town.
yeah, I think they did that to make it look like two different people did it.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, this person knew what he was
And
doing.
and especially if the unaliving of wife number 2 and wife number 1 were also his responsibility, then yeah, he would want to try to mix up the MO of what was happening and who was doing it. He would
Mhm.
be smart enough and would understand the system well enough to know that if you put just enough red herrings in there, you're going to have cops chasing their tails and looking way in the wrong direction.
Especially then.
I mean, if he was even interviewed after the first one, he very easily could have been the one to plant the seed that that young lady was offering services for payment. Um,
Oh, yeah.
he would have been aware of the fact that there was another guy in town, the perv, who liked to watch the teenagers, had a very similar car, and that was his hangout, was the woods. So
Yeah.
who best to throw red herrings at? It's something that's going to point the finger at somebody else who is already fulfilling part of the known information for whoever the perpetrator was. I
Oh,
mean, I had to sit down and reread the article that was written about it by the investigative journalist. I had to reread it several times because they kept jumping back and forth, between stuff. And so it was I found myself getting confused, and I hear us talking now, and it's like I'm trying to make sure I'm as clear so that I'm not confusing everybody else.
yeah, yeah,
Because
same.
this is a wild um
Yeah, the new investigators, they take their the new information they find and they give it to the police. And if the police find that there's enough information to open up a new case, they will. So let's hope a new case was opened, because I can see, I mean, at one point she was holding her hands up like, "What the heck? What the heck?" And I'm talking about Carol, because she seems like one of those, because she was brought up in the system and she's a fighter. I can see her holding her hands up like, "What the heck?" And then at one next minute she's got her hands on her hips like, "What the heck? Come on.
Yep.
When is this ever going to be solved?" So, and the new episode was done last year. So I don't know if a new case was opened up, or I don't know, or was opened up and it's taking them forever to do something.
Well, the problem they run into that is the fact that they didn't collect evidence back then the way they would collect evidence today.
Right.
Therefore, you wouldn't have pristine examples of DNA or fibers, cloth fibers,
No.
that kind of stuff. I mean, nowadays they can go in and strip out a vehicle from the carpet all the way down, and they can pull fibers and match it up to clothing to, if this person was in someone's car,
Hmm.
depending on what kind of carpeting is in that car, what kind of material the seats are made out of. A lot of times nowadays they can go in and they can pull samples off of that carpet and that seat cover or whatever, and
Right.
be able to
Right.
match it up. Back then, unless you had a big flipping stain that they could hit with a black light and go, "Oh, somebody got hurt in this car," there wasn't a whole lot they could do about it. They just didn't have the means or the technology
Right.
to gather that kind of evidence and then to test it. And we're talking 1979, 1980. So you're talking
Yeah.
over 40 years ago, so that's a long flipping time to try
I
to
mean,
be able to retest any evidence that may have been found. And we don't even know if there's still evidence to be looked at. A lot of your smaller police stations and whatnot. I know here in the States, I'm sure probably the same thing happens in England.
hmm
You after a certain time period, you get rid of that stuff simply because you don't have the
not
place to
enough
store
room.
it. Yeah.
Hmm.
You got new evidence coming in. You got a store that's more important than this 45-year-old case. Just saying. So,
Well, let's look at the cards and see if this case will be solved.
okay. How do you want to word it exactly?
Um.
How about
Um.
will
Will
new
the
evidence come to light to solve the crime? We
huh?
could start there. We could start there. Will new evidence come to light that could reopen the case?
That works.
Let's go there.
Okay.
Because we have to be careful how we word it, because otherwise we're not going to get an accurate answer. Um,
Yes, it was a recent investigation book. It was last year. Um,
okay.
but
I don't remember now why the journalist was looking into it, if they were approached by a family member, or if it was just information that they came across randomly and then they started looking at it and thought, oh, wait a minute, this never got solved.
This show, it they look at cold cases, and when I mean cold cases, I mean
Yeah,
cold cases.
right.
Cases
So it
that are
very
like
well could have been this journalist just went digging in the wherever it is they look for that stuff, and like, oh, look here, this has never been dealt with before. But usually for that to be brought to the surface, even for a show like that or an investigative journalist, something or somebody is going to trigger them to look into it. You
right,
know, it's not like you're just going to go to a box and randomly pull out a file and say, let's see what we can do with this. I mean, maybe they do that. I don't watch the show, so I can't answer that. But the feeling I got from the article I read and the video I watched, the it felt like there was a family member of one of these, what it would have been, one, two, three, four, five women. Someone
mhm,
somewhere involved in that has come forward and said, hey,
we
this
need
never
help.
got solved. We need to find out what happened to my daughter, my sister, my mother, my friend, whatever. Um,
Right, and we're gonna see if there's any there gonna
that's
be
what we're
any
drawing on now, book,
yeah,
is there any new evidence that will that can help reopen, help solve the case? Is there any new evidence that's going to be found to help solve the case? All right. Guess I'm doing live cards.
you sound a lot better.
Huh?
You sound a lot better.
Oh yeah, I feel much better. My
Oh,
allergies
good.
aren't as acting up today as bad. Last couple of days I've been really growly just because my allergies have been giving me fits.
I'm talking about your the dreaded C.
Oh yeah, that's done with now. I don't have to
Oh,
worry
good.
about it. Okay.
New, new evidence. Yep, 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 yep. Guess go first.
Okay. Well, I pulled the Six of Swords again. So
Oh,
right off the bat, we're looking at looking for new evidence, looking for new information. Um, this is a gathering stage. And then I pulled the Fool. So we're looking at a fresh start here. So whoever it is that's got this case now, they're approaching it like it's a fresh case. And
yep.
they're not basing anything on what they've already know or what's
Hey,
already
Care
been done.
Bear's here.
Hi, Care Bear.
Hey, Care Bear.
Then I pulled Justice. So I do believe this is Spirit letting us know that justice will be served, even if it's just the simplistic fact of they will know who did it,
Mm-hmm.
and it can give the family some closure.
Yep.
Um,
That's all they want. They just want to know who.
and the Justice card, this card, and my next card are the ones that literally flew out of the deck when I was shuffling. So we got Justice, we got the Two of Cups. So this is that family member, that whoever it was that cared about either one of these women, they're the ones that came forward and said, "Hey, this new show is doing blah blah blah. Let's write to them and say I never found out what happened to my daughter or my mother or whatever." Um, and so that's how this television series got hold of the information to look into it. And then the last card I pulled was death or rebirth. So I think that basically what I feel like this is telling me is that, okay, wait, they're talking about this is going to put to rest the wrong information and will put out the correct information.
Yeah.
So you have the death of the old info that was wrong and a rebirth of the new information that's going to come to light. And that's what I'm
Welcome
that's what
back,
I'm
Tamsy.
Hi
And
Tamsy.
you're welcome, Care Bear. We're privileged to be doing this. It's an honor to be doing this for these ladies.
Especially when they're yakking in your ear saying yes, yes, yes. Tell them.
Yes, 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 yes. Yeah.
Tell them what happened to me. Um
Yes. Because they deserve justice after 40 years.
almost 45.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah,
So
definitely. Are you done? Are you
yes,
done, my
I'm
friend?
done. I'm done and I'm already reshuffling.
Okay. The cards I got.
Oh.
I got the cards I got. I got the world. They are going to get the info they need.
Hmm. And it's going to be
Um,
brought to the attention of the world,
yeah,
or at least their world of where they're at.
their world to that little town. And everybody's going to know the truth and oh, she really wasn't who people said she was. Well, some people already know in Dundee, people that's where they lived.
Hmm.
People already know that wasn't that Carol wasn't what they were saying. They already know that.
Hmm.
But the info will come out, but there are some that still believe that she was. And the info
Yep.
will come out, no, she's not who they were saying she was, and this is what happened, and everything will come out right. Um, then I've got the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands. The police are going to stand their ground and they're going to keep going until they get the info, right? They're
Yep.
going to fight until they get it, and the family are going to stand their ground until they and they're going to keep going at the police until until they get that info. Um, everybody's going to be standing their ground. Just go.
Yeah.
Um, then I also got the six. Did you get the Six of Wands or was it the Six of Swords?
6 of Swords. That's what I
I
have.
got the Six of Wands.
Okay.
Um,
Well, six is a very powerful number. So,
yes, these five ladies are going to get the recognition they deserve, right?
yeah,
They're going to get the recognition
absolutely.
and they're going to get the justice they deserve. Um, finally, finally, finally.
I get the feeling, and I don't know why. I'd have to go back. I didn't rewatch the video or reread the article before we did the show here because I wanted to kind of come into it a little on the cold side, um, just to see what I was going to get. Um, but part of me is wanting to say that the one that they think is the one that did it, is no longer with us.
Yeah, he's no longer, but they just want a name. The
Yeah.
family, the friends, they just want a
They just want to
name.
know who was responsible. Of course, they also want to know why did you do it, but that's a question that'll never be answered
No.
because you would have to connect with him, and I'm not doing that.
Oh, no, ma'am. No,
No,
ma'am.
I'm not connecting with the
With
person that.
negativity like that.
Yeah,
No,
no.
thank you. Not
Um,
doing it. This the next part I got was the Queen of Cups. Um, Queen of Cups. Okay. Um, Sincere feelings. Everybody that wants the truth, they're being sincere and saying they want the truth. The police, um, there are police there that are being sincere that say they want the truth. Okay. Um, and Carol, even though she's on the other side, she's this Queen of Cups. She's sincere when she says she wants the truth. Okay. And I hope
yeah,
that makes sense.
yeah,
Um, Carol is this queen sitting on this throne saying, I want the truth to be known. And that is powerful to me.
yeah,
Very powerful. And lastly, um, I got the Hierophant. The Hierophant. Um, this is the police department, the police departments that are going to work. That's going to work like mad to get the truth.
hmm
I can see them right now working really hard because of all the new information and all these people. They're like, wow, and bugging them, and they're going to be working their butts off to get all that new information found out.
yeah.
So it's going to be um oh well, thank you, Care Bear. Thank you. I
It it
appreciate
it
that.
it, it does, and it's
Mhm.
very appreciated when y'all realize it. I mean, a lot of y'all in chat are readers too, so you kind
Mhm.
of know what we go through to do this. Some readings you do, and you're energized when you get done. You're pumped up. You got to figure out how to get some of that energy to calm down.
Uh-huh.
Other times when you read stuff, especially like stuff like this, it's very draining because it
Yeah,
takes
and you're
a
like,
lot of energy of your own to connect to those that are so distraught still that they've not been able to complete their path and move on because they're still stuck with needing to get this. No, it's like Carol, it feels like Carol can't move on to what
nope.
is next in her spirit to do until this is settled. And I think it's more for the sake of her son than it
Yeah.
is anything else. That's what's driving her. Is she
Hey,
wants her
Scott.
son. Hi, Scott. She wants
Woohoo.
her son to know that I was not selling services on the street corner. I was not doing anything wrong. I was being a normal 18-year-old kid doing normal things that all my friends were doing.
Trying to get home to you.
Yeah, and that's what I think um, is what's driving her because I get her really strong, like
Oh, yeah,
overpowering herself.
Elizabeth has
Elizabeth is
already
already
gone.
gone. She's already passed, moved on. She's wherever it is that's in her contract to go.
Yeah. In
You
fact, I
know,
think she's already gone on to another life,
yeah,
I
if
think.
not here, then in another dimension. But yeah,
But,
she's accepted and moved on. And I think
mhm,
that was because She was not a mother yet. She did not have children. So her motivation, if she was still hanging, is not the same as what Carol's is. Because Carol
Mm-mm.
has a child that she wants to make sure knows the truth about his mother. That's what's driving her. And she's not going anywhere till she knows for sure that the truth is out there and her son knows what happened.
Yeah, and when Karen first came in, she was like, "Blam! Here I am." I was
You
like,
mean Carol?
"Woo!" It's like,
Yeah.
"Hello."
Yeah, when I watched the video the first time by myself, it was just she was overpowering with it, like you gotta get this,
Hmm.
you gotta do this, you gotta do this, you gotta do this.
Yeah, me too. That's why I was like,
So
"Sherry, we need to do this one,
yeah.
Sherry." And we had it
And
all
I will
set
admit
to
she's
do.
been very patient
Yes,
waiting for
thank
us
you
to
for
get our
being patient, Carol. Thank you. And we had it all set to do, and then life bit us both in the butt.
hmm
So, thank you, Carol, for being patient with us, ladies. But we got to you.
Well, we didn't forget. I mean,
No,
I
we
had
did
my little
not.
notes that I took um when I watched the video and read the first article, and I sat down and I rewatched it several times and reread it several times with my little notepad, scribbling down notes. And the whole time she was breathing down my neck,
Yeah,
saying, "Don't forget this part. Don't forget this part." So
yeah. It it's like she is like she knew who I was. She knew who we were. She knew what our gifts were, and she needed that
would care
to
enough
get
for me to
out.
look into it.
Yeah. She
She knew
picked
that we
those
cared enough to
two
look into it.
ladies,
hmm
and I was like, "Wow." So, I was like, "Sherry." Oh, I'm getting chills. Sherry, are you?
Oh, I've been getting chills since we started today.
It's like,
It's
Sherry.
like somebody's got an ice cube running up and down my spine right
I'm getting
now.
chills and chills and it's like
Yeah.
whoop whoop whoop. Hey, Kathy, how you doing, girl? Whoop whoop.
Hi, Kathy.
Hey, hey, Scott, you want to join us for one of these? See what it's like?
Sure, you're welcome anytime.
It's actually quite fun. It is fun, right, Cherry?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm personally not a mother, but I am an aunt who is very protective of her nieces and nephews, like I have like a
Right.
mother.
And that's on a certain level. But when you've actually given birth to another human being, it's on an entirely different level. And I didn't understand that until I had a child.
Well,
And
I've been
okay,
pregnant.
now I get it.
I've been pregnant, but I've never.
Right. And that's just as devastating as being able to follow through. I mean, I wasn't supposed to be able to have children at all.
So does that
My
count?
husband, my husband and I were told, nope, not happening, not happening.
So does being
And boom,
pregnant and not
boom,
being
I
able
got
to,
pregnant with my son, and that was
yeah.
the only one we ever had. We never could have any more. I mean, we tried for years to have more kids. Nope, wasn't happening.
But
So
so does but being pregnant but not being able to carry through, does that count?
sure, because you've already got those maternal instincts that get activated whenever
Hmm.
you're pregnant. You know, um,
So
so
because I didn't. because
It's the
I
same
lost.
for people who adopt children. Okay, maybe they didn't physically carry that child in their body, but they have attached themselves on a level that opens up those instincts. And that child is just as important to them as it would be if they had carried that child in their own body.
It
Um,
happened to me twice, but I was like, well, eh. But that's why I'm so protective of my nieces and nephews.
I mean, I've been lucky. I've never had a miscarriage. Um, I knew a lady that lived across the street from us when I was a preteen who had 8, 9 miscarriages, and she kept
Ah,
getting pregnant, and she kept trying, and the doctors kept telling her, "You're not. It's not going to happen. You're not going to be able to carry to term." Um, and the just before they had moved away, she had just gone through like her eighth or ninth miscarriage, and it was devastating to watch her go
yeah.
through it because we knew her over the course of I think 2 or 3 of them, the amount of years that we knew her, and it was just like, why are you putting yourself through this? That's what I didn't understand that. Of course, I was 13 years old. What the hell did I know? Um,
Yeah. I've had pets. Pets count.
Pets do count because for a lot of us, our pets are just as important as our children. I mean, I have a child. My child's 40 years old. He just turned 40. He's still my baby and always will be.
Yeah,
He's still my
but I
child. He's a grown man, but he's still my child, you know?
I found out I couldn't have children in my 30s, so pets count.
Yeah, absolutely pets count. I mean, I had my one miracle baby. That was it. I never could have any more. We tried like the Dickens to have more. It just didn't happen. And so I thought, okay, well, that's the one we were meant to have. That's the one we got. And from there on out, it was adding animals to the brood. And
Yeah, even though both of my kids are up in heaven, I'm still a mom. Yep, I'm still a mom even though they're up in heaven.
oh, absolutely, that never goes away. I mean, just like my mom's up in heaven. She's still my mom. That'll never change. Uh,
So,
that that's
oh,
just the way it is.
oh,
Um,
Carol's like giving me a hug and saying thank you.
yeah,
Uh,
she's been saying thank you to me for a while now.
yeah,
Just thank you
just
for bringing it out.
yeah. She's
No, they
like,
weren't twins. They were two women who didn't
no,
know each other.
nope,
They didn't have any affiliation with one or the other, but the man that they believe is
yeah,
responsible for it, not the man that they arrested and charged. He was the wrong guy. He was a perv in his own right.
yeah,
He was, sicko, but he wasn't responsible. But the
no,
man that is responsible, he was in a position where he most likely knew both of them and had interactions with both of them. And so they felt safe getting into his car, you know?
Anybody else have any other questions?
Um,
Oh, because
that's
in
right, Sylvia. When you're 100 years old, if your mom's still alive, you will still be her baby.
her baby, yeah. I mean, I
That's a
am
saying.
my mom's baby. She's 86 and I'm 50 and I'm still her baby. I
I
am.
mean,
I am her baby.
uh,
I'm her last born.
I'm
I'm her
60,
baby.
I'm 60, I'll be 63 in June. God, I had to think about that for a minute. It's like I'm 60. What am I?
I'll be 52 in May. So,
I'll be 63 in June. So, yeah,
and we're
yeah.
not that far apart, girly.
Uh-uh, no.
We're almost twins.
There's a couple of people in chat that that not this chat right here, but there's a couple people that are normally in chat a lot that we're within days or weeks of being birthday twins, um, which is kind of cool. You know, somebody else is, oh, I was born that year too. Oh, I was born in June too. Oh, I was. I mean, President Obama, I'm exactly 2 months and 1 day older than him.
Cool.
And because I was June 3rd, 61, and he was August 4th, 61. So
Oh, Care
I've
Bear
got
said,
him.
"Wow, I thought you were younger than me. I'm a June baby too, Sherry."
Oh, wow. June what? Okay, you got to give me your number. June what? I'm June
June
3rd.
what, Care Bear?
Yeah, I'm June 3rd, 1961.
And I am May
Look at you,
30th,
68 in
1972.
June. Wow, okay, you're just a few years older than me. And oh, and books and June 30th. Okay, so you're a Cancer. June 9th. Oh, Care Bear, we're like right around the corner from each other. You're a Gemini too.
I am
Awesome.
May I am May 30th,
You're a
1972.
Gemini too. My husband was May 25th.
Yep.
My husband was May 25th, and I'm June 3rd. And Memorial Day weekend always fell in between our birthdays. And so that's when we would celebrate. We would just celebrate our birthdays together. And yeah, exactly, Sylvia. Uh, she she what was it? Some or other. She said something. You know, my
Hey.
baby. And whoever was around us was like, "Oh no, she's a grown woman. She's not a baby anymore." My mom said she will always be my
Should
baby.
always be, yeah. They will
Oh,
always be
Pat,
your
you're
baby,
hi,
no
Pat.
matter.
May 7th, 1957. Oh wow. Okay, you're a Taurus then. I know that much. 1957. You were 2 years younger than my husband. He was born in 55. And
Oh, Care Bear says, "Oh
whoa,
no." Oh,
you had twin girls on 5/22/22. Holy
yeah.
moly. That's awesome. Talk about real synchronicity there.
Oh,
That's
my
cool.
energy. Okay. Well, you're welcome.
I'm telling you. Wow.
That's a good thing. And my
Well,
dad's like, "Well, wait a minute." Um, I
real
was
quick, for
actually.
those of you who have never had a destiny card reading, that is based
Oh, go to Juno.
strictly on the month and day that you were born, not the year, just the month and day. When's our
Juno.
next show? Juno from Juno Sphere, she does destiny card readings.
Oh.
And that's the wrong month. We will we will be doing our next show on the 17th, which is St. Patrick's Day.
Oh,
So
wait. March 17th. Oh, should we tell?
what's
We're having a
oh
party.
that's our oh yeah, no, don't say anything yet. I haven't even
Oh,
put anything together yet. Let's not say nothing yet. But
okay.
we're gonna have a party, so you know. But yeah, Juno and I, our next show is on the 17th, and that's St. Patrick's Day. And you show up and you put your birthday into the chat, and she will do a destiny reading. It's just a
Mhm.
basic reading. It's not a full reading because that requires a lot more stuff to
Um,
do.
yeah.
And but she does them in depth if you want. She did one for me that was like, whoa, Nelly.
Yeah.
And just
Oh,
like the cool crone did a natal chart on me, a full natal chart, and we did it. We went over it live on her. I think it was on her channel. I don't know. It was on both of our channels, so you can find it either one. But she did a full natal chart on me, and then read and interpreted it. We did it online live, so that everybody can see it's not painful to get a natal chart done.
it's actually quite fun.
I have gone back, and it's been like not quite a year since she did it for me. And
Yes, Kathy, your
I have
comments are
gone back
showing
and
up.
rewatched it. I have gone back and rewatched it several times since we did that show. And every time I go back and rewatch it, I pick up
Hi,
something
Pat.
new that she had set that I didn't. Oh, another Cajun cousin. Hot damn. Pat's in Hammond. Yeah. Yeah, that's not far from me. That's north. Uh
Oh,
trying to remember. North,
before, oh,
it's northeast of me.
oh, cool.
I'd have to
Before,
I'd have to pull up a map.
before I forget, my dad, my dad, called me his early birthday present because literally I was, because he passed away. I am, whatever you want to call it, his early birthday present because I was born on May 30th, and his birthday was literally a week later on June 6th.
Oh, cool.
So he's like, "Oh, you couldn't wait a freaking week, could you?" I'm like, "Sorry, sorry."
Oh yeah, that is hang on.
March 17th book. So he
Okay,
always
yeah.
called.
Hammond is 101 miles east of me, straight down I-10. So Pat, we're like right around the corner from each other. I mean, we're literally around the corner from each other. I just went and pulled it up on Google Maps because I'm in Lafayette and you're in Hammond, and that's a straight shot down
You can
I
go
10.
visit each other.
Talk about. Well, I'm going to be making a trip to Mississippi here in a few months to go see Isaac.
Oh,
And
what's the
because
time of
Isaac,
the show with Juno, Jerry?
4:30 Central, every third Sunday of the month.
Y'all would have to drive a long ways to see me. I'm in Michigan.
Yes, you way to hell up there.
I'm way up here.
I'm getting ready to be doing a cross country trip from LA back to LA, from
But
Los
it's worth
Angeles
it to come see
to
me, I swear.
Louisiana. Yeah, yeah. I've been given a car, and a very nice car, and
Blessings.
I got to fly to Los Angeles, or my son's going to fly with me. We're going to fly out to Los Angeles, and then we're going to drive back. So we're
Have
going
a
to go
little bit
from
of a
LA to
break.
LA. Yeah, we're going to go from LA to LA, and I'll be stopping to see Juno on the way. So because she's like right off the interstate on the way back. So she was like, "You better be stopping." I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna stop." Same with Val from Dragonfly Crystals. She's right on the way too. So she's like, "You best be stopping at my house." I said, "I will. Don't worry." And then
Oh, I wish I was on the way. That way I could meet you, but
my
or
son's
see
got a
you. But
couple of my son's got a couple of Navy buddies that live in Phoenix. So we're gonna be stopping in Phoenix and may spend the night there and visit so he can visit some of his buddies and I can go to Samurai Sam's and buy some teriyaki sauce.
oh,
Um,
yum.
I only like one teriyaki sauce, and that's Samurai Sam's. You can't buy it in the store. You can't buy it online. You can only buy it physically walking into their shop and ordering it. And it's unlike any teriyaki sauce I have ever eaten in my entire life. It is fabulous. It is to die for. I told my son we're going to get us a little cooler. I said we're going to be stopping at Samurai Sam's. I'm going to buy like a dozen bottles of that shit. I'm bringing it back with me.
I
He was
love
like,
teriyaki
Mom,
sauce.
he's like, I was craving a damn teriyaki bowl just the other day. I was thinking about that. I said, yeah, I know. Because you can go to Samurai Sam's and it's like a, regular size bowl, um, rice, and you can
Hi,
do
greeter.
chicken or beef or a mixture,
Mm-hmm.
strips, and you can do it with the prawns if you like prawns. I don't. Other
Mm-mm.
vegetables they'll throw in if you like the veggies. I don't. I don't eat vegetables. And and then they put their teriyaki sauce over it. It's called a teriyaki bowl, and it
Mhm.
is so good. Oh
Hey,
my!
Fatima, how you doing?
Hey Fatima,
Everybody and
and
readers
hi
here,
Teresa. Hi Teresa. Hugs to
and
you,
Teresa
my dear.
here, and Kathy Raiders here. Everybody
Yep,
here.
yep. And we
Man, I
talking
really wish you could
teriyaki
stop
sauce.
and visit me because I live
Well,
way
and
too far away from everybody. Huh?
I'm hoping in the fall I'll be able to make a trip to New York and go to the Bronx and go hang out with Miss Taro D and her husband for several days.
Well, say hi to Miss D for me.
I will. I most certainly will. And I think
Woohoo!
Jane is close enough. I might be able to go see Jane the Seeker.
Oh yeah,
And I think Heather lives. I don't remember how far, so I might be able to see Heather too while I'm up
cool.
there. But
Yeah. I've never been to
so
New York, but maybe someday.
me either. I've never been there.
I can't go. I won't go by myself just
Furthest
because,
north I've ever furthest north I've ever been is either Nashville or Memphis. I don't know. Depends on which one's higher up on the map. And I'm
uh,
still in the south, so you know.
nah, you're still south.
Mhm.
But before I forget, oh, everybody, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to put a comment down below. Helps with the algorithm for both of us. Because I think
Mhm.
Shari is simulcasting.
Yes.
Helps both of us. Thank you for all my new subscribers.
Keep subscribing. She's almost to 500
I'm almost to 500. Thank
and
you
I'm
so much.
almost to 2,000. So,
Yes, we wouldn't be here without all y'all. So thank you
absolutely.
so very much. We appreciate every
Absolutely.
single one of you.
And
We I wouldn't be able to afford my castle, and she wouldn't be able to keep
this is
affording her
what
swamp.
I mean, when people make super chats or they go donate to my PayPal or my Venmo, that's money that all gets put in a special little till. And that's what pays for Canva. That's what pays for StreamYard. That's what pays for YouTube Premium. That's what pays for cards when I buy cards. So yeah, I mean, a lot of that stuff I wouldn't be able to do at all if people didn't donate, you know,
Right.
and I don't use the money personally. I I put everything right back into the business of reading and running
Hmm.
my channel and doing all the things that I do. Um,
Yes.
if anybody had told me it was as much work as it is before I did it, I probably never would have done it
Yeah.
because I would have been, who's else got time to do all that? I mean, it's a
It's
lot of
worth it
work. It
though.
really
It
is,
is
but
worth
it's
it.
worth it. It's worth
Yeah.
every minute of it.
I
But
love it.
you know, because it's doing up promo ads. You know, especially when you have guests. It's you know, it's being able to coordinate schedules when you have a guest or when you're a guest on someone else's channel. Um,
Mhm.
it's collecting small mini bios and pictures that you can use in your adverts. It's making
Mhm.
sure you don't overbook yourself like I did today. Um,
Whoops.
whoopsies. And completely forgot about one booking and booked, and Amy and I went with this date and time and everything. And then the other person was like, yesterday was like, oh, are we doing a live tomorrow? And I'm like, oh crap. I felt so bad. Oh my God. I was so
Oh,
embarrassed. She was like, no, Biggie, we'll do it next weekend. So I'm like, yeah, we'll do it next weekend. You bet. Um, so, but yeah, it's
it's
all, I mean,
yeah.
and I still work 10 hours a day. Monday through Thursday and half a day on Fridays. So
Yeah,
most
it's
of
a
what
lot of
I
work,
get
but it's
done,
so much fun because
yeah,
you have
most of
fun
what
with the
I get
person.
done on the actual channel business and stuff is done on the weekends.
Mhm.
So I spend my Saturday and Sunday while I'm also doing my laundry and cooking for the week. And I'm gonna be getting in there just a little bit and whipping something up in the kitchen so that I can make several lunches for the week this coming week. And
Yeah, I
oh,
mean,
and
but the
Wednesday I'll be taking Wednesday off because I'm gonna be a guest on Hogarth's channel. I'm
hope
supposed to be a guest on Hogarth's channel because he
yeah,
was a guest on my channel like a year ago, and then he was doing one of his Thursday fry ups that he does by himself now, and I had popped in chat and said, "Hey, what's happening?" And he saw him and he was like, "We need to get together again. You need to come on my channel this time." I'm like, "Tell me what day you want me, and I'll be there." And it was in the middle of the week, and it was a work week because that's when he's available because he's in England and I'm not. And so I just said, "I've got a personal thing I need to take care of. I need the day off." And they gave me the day off. So I'll be hanging with
awesome.
Hobie on Wednesday.
Bye,
So
book.
that ought to be
Oh,
exciting.
what's the name of the wait, book, don't go anywhere. What's the name of that shop that you go to get the teriyaki?
Samurai Sam's.
Okay, there you go, book. That's the name of the
And
shop.
it's in Phoenix, Arizona. I don't know if they have any locations anywhere else. They do have several teriyaki shops in and around Phoenix. Most cities do. That's not it. You want to go to
Okay,
Samurai
Teresa.
Sam's. Trust
Yeah,
me.
bye, Tamsy. Thank you for
Bye,
coming.
Tamsy. So, yeah,
Yeah,
so Wednesday, big thing. I'm going to be on Hogarth's channel. In fact, I got to email him today and say, "Hey, where's the link?
I
Did
want my
you forget?"
link.
Um, and then, of course, Sisters that night. Thursday night is Golden Girls. Saturday is I have a class I'm attending. I have two classes I'm attending, excuse me, one at 11 and one at 3. And then I have a live with Michelle Marie from Astrological Tarot. She does Vedic astrology, which is different than Western astrology. I don't
Yeah,
know what
she's
I
like
am.
Hogarth.
Yeah, I don't know what I am in Vedic astrology. I have no
Me
clue.
neither. I don't know.
Um, but I know they're both like, yeah, you match up more with the Vedic astrology of your personality than you do with the Western. I'm like, oh, okay. You would know, I
Whatever.
don't. So, and then next Sunday
You're welcome, book.
is okay. So next Sunday is Mastering Mental Awareness Wellness with me and Isaac, and we will be the topic will be anxiety. That's the one that won the poll, anxiety, and I'll have Terry from Holding Space on my channel, and Sun Psychic Gene will be on my channel. So next Sunday's gonna be crazy. Yeah, next Sunday's gonna be nuts.
I say I've got
It's
lots
like I'm
of
just gonna might as well just line everything up because I'm never gonna get out from in front of the computer for like about 6 hours. So
I was gonna say
um
I've got lots of info about that. I said I could be in that.
there you go. Which one?
The anxiety one.
Oh, the anxiety one. Well, come and listen. Right now we're still working out our give and take. So we haven't invited guests to come on yet. That's probably a couple of months down the road, and
Oh,
then
okay.
we'll start inviting guests to come on with us. Um, right now, Isaac and I are just trying to get kind of the groove set with the show because we've only done 2 episodes so
Oh,
far,
okay.
so it's still really brand new. And so yeah, it'll probably be another month or two before we start asking guests to come on, and we both know people that we would like to invite to come on and be a guest with us. So but starting this month, we're going to start meeting twice a month, not just once a month. So it'll
Yeah.
be the second, fourth Sunday of the month, and then draining the swamp is on the 11th. Alliterology is on the 15th. Juno and Amy is on the 17th. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm not going past that. I get a headache if I look past that.
For me, I'm working on a few shows with a few people. I'm not going to say who. It's going to be a surprise.
Okay.
The the ones that I've got made up for sure right now is on the 15th. I've got a show with Sun Psychic Jean and Kigaru Tarot on the
Yeah,
15th.
they're both sweethearts, absolute
Yeah,
sweethearts. I've
I love
not
them.
read with Terry Kigaru. I've not read with her yet, but I've read with Jean,
Yeah,
and I've read with Terry Pure Visionary, and I've read with Terry Holding Space. Um,
a lot of
too many
Terrys.
Terrys. Yeah, a lot of Terrys. It's like I'm getting confused.
Yeah,
Um,
that's why I said Terry Kigaru.
yeah, it's otherwise you just like I don't know which one of them.
Which one? Which one?
I'm gonna be
And
on with one
then
of them. I don't remember. And
this
they're
the
both
17th,
sweet.
I got a show with Sherry again. So
Yeah.
there
So
you go.
we're green.
Yeah, we're green. We're
That's St.
green.
Pat. That's St. Patty's
St.
Day.
Pat's. So those are the only ones I've got scheduled so far for the month, but I've got other ones that are
Works.
brewing. I'm not going to say who. So surprise.
Yeah. And at some point in April, I'll be flying to LA, so I don't know exactly when. So I'm
Thanks,
trying not to
Kibber.
really schedule too much in April because I don't want to have to cancel a bunch of stuff after I go to all the work of scheduling it. So
Yeah.
I'm going to kind of wait until I know exactly what my schedule is going to be, and then I can schedule around it. But while
Oh,
I'm out west, I'm going to try to do a meet and greet and maybe have a lunch or something. We can all meet. For those that live out in that area, we can all meet, get together. Is what I'm hoping. Um,
yeah.
and then, of course, a few people between me and my son stopping to see on the way home. Um, so I'll probably record a lot of the trip, and I may even throw a couple of live streams in there. Just
Vlogs. You'll do
depends.
vlogs.
Yep, yep. I'll do vlogs, and oh, that's right, May 5th. Thank you, Sylvia. We'll be doing the President Biden thing on Sunday, May 5th.
Oh, May 5th, that was my cousin's birthday. Was
Oh,
she's
cool.
in heaven now, but that was her birthday. May 5th, 1958 was her birthday.
Awesome.
And
Awesome.
she would have been how old? Uh 65,
Yeah.
66.
She's just a couple of years older than me.
Yeah, she was the oldest grandchild and I'm the youngest.
Yeah. I was the
She's
oldest.
she was
The
14
oldest
years older than me.
grandchild, the oldest great grandchild, the oldest great great grandchild on one side of the family. I was the
Yeah,
oldest.
I'm yeah, she was the oldest, I'm the youngest grandchild, and yeah. She was the only one born in the 50s, I was the only one born in the 70s. Everybody else was crammed in the 60s.
Yeah. There's a lot
So,
happening in the 60s. So
yes.
people was feeling it the 60s. They were doing
Yeah.
that thing.
Yeah,
Um,
and they were doing their thing all right.
and then some.
And then some. So,
Well, I hope
but
y'all
again,
enjoyed it. We got another. We'll,
yeah.
we'll look for um
And thank you for
another
allowing us to
mystery.
have her. Yeah.
Yeah.
And thank you
You'll be
for
doing it.
allowing us to have our little blurb there. That was fun.
Yeah. And if there's something cold case, paranormal case, something along those lines that you know about or you're interested in that you would like to see us do a show on, email Amy, let her know.
Mhm.
Is she's running the show on this. This is her show. I'm just here for looks.
We're
Give you
both
something to
here
laugh
for looks.
give you something to laugh at. So I'm just here for looks.
Ah, we're both here for looks. We're both gorgeous.
Yes, we are. Inside
We're
and
both gorgeous.
out.
Yes.
All right.
So again,
Before we close, I'm gonna do a card for y'all.
yeah,
Yang. That's the very first card. What does it say? This is my one of my new um, oracle decks that I just got. It is Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. Okay. Yang. This is what I pulled for y'all. Essential meaning: the masculine principle of movement and creative activity, the power to make things happen, taking action. The oracle's message: Yang represents the power of action, the energies that propel the world forward, and manifesting thought and desire into concrete form. Now is the perfect time to act. You can easily build momentum and make headway. What you want will come to fruition if you proceed confidently. This card signifies new life and is a sure sign that obstacles have been overcome. There is no reason to hesitate. You are the sharper of your you are the shaper of your destiny now. The relationship message. Each card has like 6 messages to it. The relationship message says circumstances are supporting action on your part. It's okay to make the first move. Trust that you will quickly know where you stand. In matters of the heart, there is movement toward your highest good, so go forth with assurance. Passion is in the air, and now is the time to dance to the tune of love. Take the lead. The
hmm
prosperity message to Yang: projects, partnerships, and all matters relating to your business are out of the obstacle phase and on to the make it happen phase. Now is the time to stake your claim and get things done. While you can expect to be busier than usual, this card tells you that you have all the energy and vitality you need to accomplish your goals. Abundance is waiting for you to claim it. And final, the protection message says be mindful of the tendency toward impulsive action, overconfidence, and aggressive behavior. Think before you act, lest you find yourself in a situation that will lead to uncomfortable consequences. Be sure you really want what you're chasing after, because you might be sorry when you get it. The appearance of this card isn't cause for fear, for life is all about learning lessons. Practice temperance, diplomacy, and thoughtful consideration before making a move. Okay, that last, the protection message, would be if I had drawn it inverted, but I drew it upright. But since it's just a collective reading, I read all the messages, so any one of those might fit you. Take the one that works and go with it.
yeah,
Uh, this is a really cool deck. I just got it.
yeah. The one and
Yeah, 4 months.
I like that deck actually. And the deck that I'm using is a deck I recently purchased. It's the Queen Mab Queen Mab deck. Look
Oh,
at it.
interesting.
Love it. It's a fairy deck. Itchy nose. This happens when I get into into it, get in the zone. And it's by Tess Whitehurst. Okay. I like her
Nice.
decks. Um, and the card that I drew, like you, I sorry, Hitsy knows.
Yep.
Uh, the card that I drew, like you, was right off the top, and it says, "There, there is my pledge." Look at this card, love it.
It's
Um,
beautiful.
it is, and it says, transform pain into action, which I think fits what we talked about today perfectly. Um, and also, I think, um, oh, Carol just said, I had you draw it. Okay.
There you go. She not
Um,
done with you yet.
no, she's still here. Thank you, Carol. Thank you. So this card is, that's why my nose is itching. Darn it.
Yep.
This is what happens when I get in the zone. My nose just itches like crazy and then it gets all red and I look like Rudolph. Yeah. So this message is from Carol, everybody. And from those of you that are coming into coming in at the back, you'll have to begin it, start from the beginning and just watch and be like, what? You'll see what I mean. This is Carol's message to you. There is a significant pain in your past. You may even feel that your pain has shaped and defined you, your personality, preferences, and life experiences. Perhaps you feel intense anger or sadness in response to past misfortune or mistreatment. Or you may have emotionally closed down and instead feel numb, lethargic, or even depressed. It's possible your unprocessed or unhealed feelings around past trauma have crystallized into a particular resentment that feels inherent to who you are. This may manifest as an obsessive vendetta against a belief system, social paradigm, or political group you perceive as embodying all that is wrong in the world. The god, I think it's Sharon, was dubbed, my screen keeps going black, the wounded healer when he learned that his personal pain could serve as a portal to express compassion for others, which in turn helped them to heal. And when this would never and when this would never ease his pain, it nevertheless brought him a significant measure of peace. In the same way, you are now presented with an opportunity to channel pain from your past into the present moment, positive change. When you do this, old stuck energy within you will start to move. Imagine tossing a match into a dusty old pile of firewood. Suddenly, what was once dull and dead becomes cleansed and alive with blinding flame and light. If you want, if you're unsure what such a transmutation would look like for you, tap into the places in your mind, body, and spirit that feel frozen, bitter, enraged, fearful, or crippled by pain. Breathe into those areas. Don't shrink away from them or tense up around them. Cry if you need to. Become incensed or allow whatever feelings arise. When you feel ready, ask yourself, what am I passionate about? Who needs my help? Who am I up? Whom can I offer to heal? Whom do I want to protect? Your answer to these questions will illuminate your next step. Close your eyes. How do you see yourself expressing your newfound passion to heal, serve, or protect? You might feel inspired to join or organize a social or political movement. Or perhaps you already do something such as art, therapy, medicine, police work, parenting, or teaching that will reinvigorate that will be reinvigorated when you underscore your action with your guiding purpose. It's also possible that you'll feel compelled to embark on a new possibility that you'll find that that you'll feel compelled. Wait a minute. I already read that. Let me start over. It's it will be in wait, I lost my place. I hate that when this happens. It's also possible that you'll feel compelled to embark on a new activity or endeavor to enroll in a university or training program that will insist you in bringing in your most treasured vision into form. You may have been a victim in the past. You may have felt limited or disempowered by your past hurts or misfortunes, but never again. Your courage is even now transforming you into a formidable force. Henceforward, you are a warrior, like me.
Very good. Very, very
Yeah,
good.
I know that was a
That's what
lot, but
I read a
remember
lot
that
too.
was Carol's message to you.
There you go. There you go.
Not mine, that was Carol's.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna say goodbye. I gotta go finish my laundry,
And I got stuff to do too, y'all.
fold, put away, and hang clothes. Just what I love to do.
Oh
Um,
yeah. So thank you everybody for coming. Thank you for supporting. We love you
we'll be
all. Hello,
we'll be back.
hello, hello. For the people who are going to watch on playback, thank you for watching. Love you too.
We'll be back for mysteries on the 7th of April, and
7th, 3rd,
uh,
or first, first, wait, the
no,
first,
the first
first
Sunday of
Sunday
the
of every
month.
month. So what Sunday is
That'll
that?
be the 7th of April.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, the 7th of April. So
We'll
next,
be back before then on St. Patrick's Day, but
yeah,
the next mystery show will be April 7th, the
April
first
7th.
Sunday of the month.
It's confusing. It's confusing.
You have
So
to look at a
we will
calendar.
see the two of us will see you on the 17th. So wear your green so you don't get pinched because we'll reach to the screen and pinch you.
Yep,
But we'll see you for the next show on the 7th.
of April. You got it.
Oh yeah. Oh, Care Bear said chills all over. Oh, I
Yep.
gave her chills. Oh, well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
I hope that healed a lot of you guys because that was Carol's message. She gave you guys a healing message.
Very good. All
So
right.
thank you all. Love you all.
Bye to everybody.
Bye. Whoop.
Amy, you froze. Oh, there we go. Bye, y'all.